middle ground, boring stuff. Already did a row at this point. I think it was only 1,000 meters. But the rowing can be anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000, and it's not volume enough or at a pace enough where that's really going to be meaningful towards my fatigue. Someone replicating this, or even if I were to try, I wouldn't even consider this as part of my total volume. It's going to be mostly by feel. Some days I'll only do 1,000 because I'm feeling limber or I am actually limited on time. If I feel like I really need to warm up more, I will. I'm pretty good about remembering it. So I'm doing these overhead carries because I feel like they really stimulate my grip, connecting my grip to my overhead stability, rather than it being that my hand is not engaged from the full movement. It was seriously busy in the gym, so it was, I cut some things short, but that was generally the idea. I knew that I was going to be doing some Olympic lifts, so I always come over and try and just stimulate my hips. So that's going to be hip abduction, right? Pushing to the outside, you see here, and then I do like 20 to 30 reps of something that feels good at that weight, or like it's something that feels good at that rep range, like a weight. And then same thing over to the hip adduction, right? Squeezing together. And it's anywhere from 20 to 30 reps. Some days I'm feeling better than others, and it'll be higher. More reps in this particular point is good. I want it to be that I can squat deep, and a lot of people don't realize that your ability to rotate your hips through your legs, through your thighs, right? Make sure that your hips stay connected to your low back as you squat down, is tightness in your hip adductors. So trying to be in view, normally where I squat down and stretch is out of view, but then I sit down and I kind of get in a squatted position. I try and pull my toes up, really feel my ankle dorsiflexion. Guy giving me, talking some smack because I've got my camera in the gym. But this is what it is, documenting, not claiming to be one who does anything particularly crazy. I just want it to be that I can come back, or that anyone can come back and see what the journey was. And if I do end up doing well at whatever competition I do, it will be something significant to say, well, this is how I got there, quite specifically, almost nearly in real time. I only do 2 rounds of this. I find that to be sufficient. I do kind of more of a bounce on this. Like I said, I try and keep my low back connected to my hips. I lean forward. Boy, do I need to stop playing with my beard. I need to get some audio that I can put in the background, like some music, because this is, I imagine that this is kind of a drag for viewers. It is difficult on the hip abductor and adductor machines to know for sure that I am level on my, I guess, x-axis. I'm always really concerned that I'm strengthening in a direction that has differential rotation between my right hip and my left hip, because like maybe my right hip is lower or higher than my left hip as I sit, and so, you know, inevitably you'll rotate. I already know that I have asymmetries, and so I try to counteract these things in these kinds of movements. All right, so we get into this very CrossFit looking thing. This turned out to be too heavy. It shouldn't have been, but it just was. Maybe it was fine. Maybe this is what I needed this day. Tried to do a clean, and every time I cleaned it, I'd squat it 5 reps, 4 reps I did, yeah, 4 reps each set, and then 2 pull-ups. And that was just because that's like pretty close to I knew was going to take 30 seconds or so. Spotted over to the clock, tried to keep track of what the clock was doing. And I was in this moment, I was trying to decide, oh man, am I going to do every minute on the minute? And then I realized probably not. I was going to give myself a strict 30 seconds rest instead. That seemed to be more fair to this volume. And frankly, next time, maybe I will do every minute on the minute, but I'll only do 3 reps and a single pull-up, and I will just do more rounds. That might be more beneficial instead of trying to fit too much volume and be worried that I'm not going to take on the appropriate strain for the total workout. The answer is just let myself have the rest and do more rounds. As a tidbit, the guy next to me he deadlifts 500 pounds on a regular basis. He's pretty absurd. And I don't know if you can see him. He's a good 2 or 3 inches taller than me. And wildly strong, but apparently weighs 20 pounds less than me. I'm not really sure that I believe him, to be honest. I don't know how many people there are that are absolutely yoked and are 5'9", 5'10", and weigh 165. It just, something doesn't add up. Yeah, these became very hard. I was expecting to be able to do some rebounding cleans, but it wasn't there on this day. I believe I did 5 rounds in total of this. I was fairly exhausted, but it was definitely an odd middle ground. It wasn't going to be that I was going to be able to do too many rounds, but it felt like it was both too much and not enough volume within a single round. It was just I didn't strategize my weights and reps and time and rest quite right. I guess sometimes you hit or you miss. This was a little bit of a miss, but it informs what I'll do next time. I do follow this up with just some feel-good clean and jerks, nothing heavy, stop at 225. And then I finish it up with some rowing, if I'm not mistaken. Like row machine rowing. Fairly easy day. I just wanted to get in, get it done, and have it be over with. Some movements where I felt comfortable. Next time I go in, I'll definitely do something a little bit out of my comfort zone. I think I'll redo what I did on day, I think it's 3 that is lost to the ether, which is a kettlebell, like very hamstring focused workout. Yeah, that sounds good. Oh, I lost the extension and tried to get under too early. This is one of the things that I guess worries some people a little bit about doing the Olympic lifts for conditioning, is that you might like short yourself, which I guess is true, but if you can push through that wall, I think there's some benefits. If you can not let yourself be so strict on the time, right, and keep the form, then that's ideal. Obviously, I didn't do it here because I got in my head. I was way too concerned with trying to keep a pace, and I allowed myself to sacrifice the movement for keeping that pace. And I think having a pace and using these movements to do that is fine, as long as you have a concept of which thing falls to the wayside first. So that's another way that this was sort of like not a failed workout, but it didn't go as, I guess, in hindsight, it should have or it could have. Yeah, these were getting very hard at this point. Still cutting it a little short. They do end up being kind of high though, so no need to cut them short. I think I would much rather get under deeper on a light weight than cut it short and still catch it high. That was a little better. I think the real benefit that I got out of this workout was the volume of practicing the lockout post clean. Because definitely, like, just pulling it out from the rack does not feel the same as having done a clean or pulled it from the floor. And so high volume of the overhead, post clean it was a really great benefit of this particular workout, because I think I need just practicing that movement more than I have. I think where I miss my lockouts a lot, and it's really because of form, not strength. Like, I have the strength because there are days that I'll definitely do it and I'll feel like it's there, but I will just hit the wrong path as it goes overhead. It'll be like too out in front of me or something along those lines. Yeah, I was getting pretty winded at this point. I forget what he's talking to me about. I guess I've lost track. I feel like I did quite a few of these sets. Maybe I did 8. I really thought it was only 5. Oh yeah, maybe this is the last one. I definitely gave myself quite a lot of rest on this last one. I felt sort of defeated a little bit. I had lost track of like where I was in my timing, and I was just like, okay, fine. Let me just hit one last set. And I think that was where I started contemplating the decision to just make sure that I get in some good reps of something a little heavier with decent reps. Still cut it short. Okay, lockout. Rough. Very rough. Yeah, standing that thing back up was absolutely killer. Good lockout though. Like I said, I think the true benefit that I did end up getting from this workout because there could have been many more, but at minimum was the volume of jerks post clean. Yeah, next time I do this, I'm really going to try and focus on explosively putting them up, so that way I catch them high, full extension. I just could not pull at this point. I was just not functioning. It's tough. And then we get on to ones that are a little heavier. So this is 205. The wad was done at like 165. I was a little bit more rested for these, obviously, and so a little bit snappier. We'll see if I end up cutting it short again, though. A little bit, but not as bad. I think I probably, in the moment, I knew that I cut it a little short. Really just not using my butt, my glutes to finish the extension. And then this is 225. Pretty sure this is where I stopped. If that's the case, if this is about to be the end of the video, I think it is, comment, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Let me know what you think. I want to know what anybody else out there is doing in contrast to what I'm doing, or that's similar to what I'm doing, or what I'm doing makes you think of doing for yourself, etc. Communication always informs how I proceed. It's always of value. All right, see ya. Out.